Hi everyone, welcome back to this weird little show we do. Sorry I haven't done an episode in a few days. I've just kind of been really busy with other stuff, and then it kind of just escaped me for yesterday to even do. So let's jump right back into it. Also, thank you all for reacting so positively to this series. I'm really glad you guys like it. I like doing these. So today we're talking about how any process in relation to creating art is problem solving. That is the job of the director, but that's really the job, that's what's said, but it's really the job of every single person who's part of a project. Because everyone has different responsibilities, right? Like specific things they're supposed to do. So here's the thing. When you're working on any project, you are going to be put into a mode where while working on it, you will think this is not working at all. Because here's the thing. The most fun parts of making something are the pre-production and the post-production. The actual production is always the worst part. Now, I thought I was alone in thinking this, but apparently there's many directors who feel this way, like Sidney Lumet and such. It's their least favorite part. I think Christopher Nolan said it as well. I want to be clear though that this does not only apply to film and video. This applies to every art form because pre-production, if you're painting, is figuring out what you're going to paint. Production is painting it, and post-production would be, refining it, putting finishing touches on and putting like the finish on it. But we're going to focus specifically on the production section of this because production is the worst ever. It's where everything feels the loosest. It feels like things aren't working because suddenly the edit or the final product you may have been seeing all the way up leading to it and occasionally see throughout production, all of a sudden it seems like it's not working and you're very unsure of yourself. That is where you do your problem solving. You see, during production, it's really just problem after problem arises that makes it so you have to compromise and you oftentimes realize that things you want to achieve with something just aren't possible with the resources you have. It's not a limit of artistic creativity or anything like that. It's more a limit of literally perhaps you don't have enough money to get the certain costume you want someone to wear for a scene. You don't have the resources to get you that nice microphone to record the vocals for your song. I think there's a misconception in the artistic process that what you should do is fight tooth and nail to get everything you want exactly the way you want it. But the truth is that most people just can't do that because they don't have the resources, like we said before, and another big factor is the time. Sometimes you have to maintain a schedule. Sometimes people don't have to maintain a schedule and they end up working on the same project for, multiple years, like 5+ years. Now, whether you're willing to put it off that long, if that time is in your hands to wait until everything's exactly the way you want it, that's dangerous because that's just perfectionism, which you'll never reach. But my point is that I think that that can be a dangerous pitfall into not growing because you're too focused on one project when in that time you could have made several and gotten much better much quicker. Now, I understand the dedication to what you're creating. You love what you're creating. That's why you're creating it. So obviously it means a lot to you. But I see that approach as not necessarily getting the idea of what the process is, which is problem solving. It's trying to do something, finding out you can't get it exactly the way you want, so you problem solve and you look around you and say, okay, what can I take, what can I use that'll be able to make it so that I can achieve delivering the same experience without exactly what I want it to, because that's where some real creativity blooms and gives you a chance on set, whatever that might mean for you in the studio, whatever you do. That's your chance to really flex your creativity and figure out what you're able to do in a pinch. And by just constantly waiting every step of the way whenever you reach a point that you don't have the resources to do what you want to, I think you're limiting yourself in regard to really challenging yourself creatively, and I think that could be a great loss for you in the long run. So don't see those obstacles as an excuse to just wait and put off what you're creating. Use it as a moment to improve your creativity and allow yourself to have to get creative while in the process of making it, and not just front load the project with creativity of in the planning process. Let the creativity flow out of you while you are creating, because I think that not only will allow you to complete your project, but will be great knowledge for you in preparing and then eventually creating your next one. I'm not saying there aren't times when you shouldn't fight tooth and nail for what you want and getting something created the way that you envisioned it. I'm just saying that on the opposite side of that coin, you equally also shouldn't be afraid to compromise sometimes. And frankly, sometimes compromises have resulted in some of the greatest strokes of artistic genius in history. I don't know if this one was a bit more rambly or not, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. I'm going to be going away for a few days coming up this weekend, but I'll try to get a couple of these ready to go while I'm gone. So have a good one, everyone.